Okay, I think we're live. I don't know if this is going to work. Um, Been a big Saturday in the shop. Got a mess out here. Hey, got a couple people watching. Burning Dinosaurs. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for dropping in. And Miss Elite, how about that? You are, you guys are on it. Just started. Uh, just I got a mess out here, but put new extended hose slides in the backhoe today, and ended up having to do some welding on it also. Didn't expect to have to do the welding. I thought we were about done with that, but anyway, it's Dave. It was broke. It's almost fixed. Actually, just a little bit of hoses to hook up and maybe a pin, but it's on the mend. It's not going the other way. So, hey, you got Barry McBride. Jim, good to see you. I hadn't done a live stream in a while. I had planned on trying to clean the shop up first, but I figured that was a hopeless case. No sense in cleaning it up yet because I'm not quite done. I thought I'd be done by now, but anyway, I got new extended hose slides in. Nope. Life has been very busy. I've been meaning to do a live stream. I know you guys like to catch up with me on them sometimes. Good reason to never clean your shop is you're never done. I agree with that. Um, it's been a I've got a big job coming up pretty soon, so I'm trying to get my backhoe in as good a shape as I can for for what it is. But last couple of days I just been on it. Nothing real exciting. Did have a problem with my swing cylinders. After I put new bushings in my swing cylinders, I realized I was leaking on both sides. And I want to show you guys. This is a backup ring. I don't know if you can see it. Kind of dark over here, I guess, but it's it kind of curled up. But what actually happened is when I heated up the bushings to put them on the cylinders, it warped them. So I had to put new, I had to pull the swing cylinders off again, put new seals in there to get that fixed. So anyway, that was a mistake I made, but it was eating. There you can see a groove in this O-ring. If the light hits it just right, it wasn't leaking bad, but it was leaking enough that I knew I had a problem. So it was starting to wear through the O-ring. Yes, Mr. Elite, I need to get me a excavator. Jim, you're right. It wasn't a whole lot of heat, but apparently these things are pretty heat sensitive because I mean it did it on both sides. The worst part was right there, and then the other side it's wrinkled up too. But I don't know why I didn't even give a second thought to that when I was putting the heat to it. I didn't even think about that. The O-ring was fine. I mean, the only thing that made it leak was the backup ring failed. And the O-ring, it's not brittle or soft or it's fine. But I've been told if I bought a cat backhoe, I wouldn't have any problems. Get a bigger hammer. Got a new subscriber. Thank you, sir. Welcome over. We got a few people watching tonight. I'm not going to stay on here too long. Like I say, I'm covered in grease. You probably don't even want to see me, but it's it's been a day. I'm about ready to go get a good shower and get some rest. Finish this up tomorrow. Well, Jim, I had drained the cylinders because, well, that's a good thought because I didn't drain that one. Huh. Jeff Anderson has a whole lot more equipment than I do too. Um, Cats don't break. I've heard they last forever. uh, you want to see me? Yeah. Come on now. I may turn the camera around here in a little bit, but just wanted to show you my mistake I made. Um, I actually bought a brand new swing cylinder because I'd been having some trouble with those. And the last time I rebuilt when I rebuilt the swing cylinders back about a year ago, or I don't remember. It all blurs together. But anyway, when I was taking one of them apart, the thread started golden on it, and it started just tearing up. When I was unthreading it, I could just feel it grinding, and it was tearing out the threads, and there was no stopping though. You had to go on with it. So I was afraid that when I pulled that cylinder off to fix it, it was going to be trash. So what I ended up doing is buying a second cylinder, well, I've got a third now. So I'm gonna have a spare. So that was not a cheap deal, but the thing is, it was less than a day's wages for that cylinder. Well, less than a day's, what do you call that, gross? Less than a day's gross wages. So I figure it's better to have a cylinder on a shelf over here that I can get new seals in it. And I was able to pull it apart. The threads are not as bad as I thought they were. So I've got one brand new cylinder on the backhoe. I've got the other one that I fixed, and the welds are holding fine that we've done on it. So everything seems to be okay. Got some new people on here. TF, I'm not sure who that is, but I'm trying to catch up a little bit on the comments here. 25 people watching. You guys must be bored plumb to death. It has been boring since Mr. Elite and Mrs. Elite have not been doing their live streams on Saturday night. So I thought, well, I'm going to see if I can get one in here tonight. And that was kind of what I was thinking. I need to get some videos out. Hey, Scruffy's here. Frank is never boring. Mr. Elite works too late these days. Yeah, I saw he had to take you on a date too, so that's, I don't know how he has really been working a lot of long hours. I guess that's what you got to do when you get them new machines. You got them new payments. I actually got off early Thursday, and I thought, man, it's going to be a nice weekend. It rained Friday, or Thursday night it rained, and about an inch here, so we were pretty much out of work anyway. So Mountain Dew and crack is how he does it. I didn't know. I knew he probably had a secret. Not sure I can hang with you even with that. Of course, I gotta get rested up so I can fix this thing. That's kind of what I gotta do. Howdy, Nerm. Been putting a few pictures on Instagram. If you guys want to check that out. Mountain Dew and crack is explosive in the right mixture. I bet it would be. Are you talking about the Backhoe Elite? A part of me is so hard-headed that I think I might keep this backhoe a little longer than what I planned. But here's my thinking: it is almost back in new condition at this point. I mean, what else can go wrong, right? It probably will end up. I don't know. I've got a guy that would like to buy it, and I may. Oh, my upcoming job. Okay, not the backhoe. Um, my upcoming job got postponed a week. That's down south, so I'm kind of happy that happened. It really worked out great because if it hadn't have, we would be in a we'd be in a mess. But I do have a job coming up. I'm supposed to go to Paris, Texas here pretty soon. I don't know for sure when it's going to happen. Going to be for a few weeks. But they postponed it. They're having problems down there with some dirt or something. Anyhow, what are you guys up to tonight besides watching a boring live stream from the Cunningham Backhoe headquarters? That sounds better than the barn. Anything exciting going on out tonight? Just listening to the frogs around here. Jim, if I get another machine, I probably will try to keep this one. Well, thank you. I'm glad it's not boring. Yeah, my thought is I'd like to buy another one that's same year model as this one, that has the same parts. And I already know this one so well. I mean, I know this machine. This machine, I know it very, 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 very well. I mean, I know it too well. I know too much about this one. So if I bought another one like it, I would know what to watch for. I'd know what problems are fixing to happen before they happened. So I think that might be something that would help me out there. I think I missed a couple of. Oh, Elite's hoping he might get some dinner. Looking to see where Nixa, Missouri is. Guess we bought a Digger Derrick truck there, so he's gonna be over in Missouri somewhere. I don't know where Nixa's at. Never been there. Xfinity race. Barry, what is a Xfinity race? I'm an old guy. I don't know all these things. Burning dinosaurs. Waited all day for it to quit raining. Finally went inside. Then it quit raining. Burning dinosaurs is probably working on either an Oliver tractor or a Cummins, a Chevrolet with a Cummins. Right outside of Springfield. NASCAR. NASCAR's on tonight? I didn't know that. So you guys are multitasking. Scruffy, I'm almost afraid to ask what a sliding joy is. Oh, it's siding job. I'm sorry, my eyesight's going bad too. Siding job, got you. So everybody's getting rain, sounds like. Hey, DC. We're up to 32 people. I should have announced this. I should have let you guys have some warning on it, but I didn't. I figured a few people would show up. I figured there was some that would. TF, where are you at? Clayton needs some rain. Clayton, what you been up to? Pushing dust, I guess, huh? St. Louis, Missouri, I suppose. That is a ways. That's not that far up there. The 930 case is doing fine. I was actually, I've been doing some field work out here on a spot where I need to build some fence. So I've been working on that a little bit with it. I got off work early Thursday because the guys I was working for said the rain's coming. We got to shut you down early. So I got my 4-hour minimum in an hour and a half, which I was tickled plumb to death about that. So I left and came home and I was like, man, I just got to move some dirt, and got on a 930 and started moving a little bit of dirt. But I got all that done right before it rained. I even put some topsoil down on it and some Bermuda sprigs. I hauled them in there with it and rolled it in. It's too muddy, Eric. I can't move dirt. Eric even made it. Good grief. Man. But the 930 still needs the engine rebuilt. That's a project I've got coming up. I actually did buy another 930. I need to go pick it up. It's a propane model. I kind of bought it for parts tractor. Yeah, holy crap, it's Eric. That's what I say. My shop is a 24 by 42. It's 42 long. I'm sitting right at the end of it. It's not big enough. It never is big enough. Burning dinosaurs, there's actually quite a few propane 930s around, and I think they actually had more horsepower than the diesels, believe it or not. Eric just built a 40 by 60 with a 20-foot lean-to, or he's still working on it. He's still got to get doors, but here pretty soon we're going to be doing live streams out of Eric's shop, I hope, because it's going to be clean. It's not going to have a mess on the floor until I get there. Yeah, you're right, Miss Elite. I'm gonna lie about a lot of stuff tonight, Eric. Never. I'm not gonna tell you the truth. That's for sure. Yep. Pretty messy. 50 by 100 is pretty big. David, you're right. David would have this full of machine tools if he had it, probably. Man, I don't know if I can handle running that grader for more than about 2 or 3 hours. That thing will beat you up. I'm gonna have to get a better grader before I go hauling up to Indiana. The box on that scraper is about 6 foot wide. It might be 6.5. It's right around 6 foot. It holds 2.5 yards, completely full. It needs a new cutting edge on it. 100 by 200 shop would really be nice. I think Eric's gonna have air conditioning in his. 45 nuts is the New Holland. How's the New Holland holding up? That's a matter of opinion. It has 10,070 hours on it right now, I think, or 10,000 something. I can't remember. It's over 10,000, but it's okay. Hey, Mr. Dozer Dennis, Andrew made it. Good to see you, man. Hey, we're up to 42 people. Backhoe's getting new extend hose slides, and when I got into there, the metal that holds the extend hose slides up, it actually broke loose and fell down in. It went down about 1/2 an inch, so I couldn't put new slides in there. It wouldn't do any good. I've got some video and pictures of it. I'll probably try to get put together sometime. But it needed new extend hose slides. So getting that tightened up, actually the last few weeks it's got a lot of new parts on it. So I'm thinking I almost have a new backhoe. Probably not, but let's see, I missed a few here. We do have a lot of clay. Some jobs we have a lot of dirt that's just red though. I mean, it's got a lot of sand in it, not so much clay. Trying to catch up on your comments. Sorry about that. Howdy, Mike's Garage from California. Welcome to my dirty shop. We got somebody from Ontario or Niagara Falls. Huh. Let's see. I'm way behind here. Missouri has a lot of clay. Look like Mr. Dozer Dennis has been doing a lot of highway work. Well, we import a lot of our dirt from Mars. That's where we got it. I think what happens back in the Dust Bowl, all our topsoil blew away and it probably landed up there in Canada or somewhere. And all we're left with is what was under it. Huh, that's interesting, Clayton, about a backhoe with no def. Huh. I, I, I'm glad to see they're doing that. 75 horsepower is really not a bad horsepower on a backhoe. This one's 95, but for the actual digging part, digging you don't need that much horsepower. 75 horsepower is plenty, but when you're doing loader work, that's when the extra 20 horsepower is nice. I'm still pretty fond of a backhoe without any electronics on the engine. This thing here still fires up like a brand new one. It doesn't burn any oil. You know, it's one of these days it'll probably just blow up though. It'll just crankshaft will probably break, or a piston will fly out, or rod will fly out the side of the block or something like that. But we'll see. I'm hoping to see how many hours that is. I hope it's around 15,000 or 20,000, or I don't know. Maybe I can just retire with this backhoe. Maybe I don't need another backhoe. Maybe hey, MSL is on here. How about that? We got a logger on here. Got a lot of people on here. 40 people. How about that? So the 310 will dig as faster than the new case. Let's see, I was able to dig just as fast as the old 310 and was able to dig into a pile and get a full bucket. So you liked it. I guess you like the backhoe, Clayton. Like I say, if most of the backhoes, like the 555D I used to run, or the one my dad has, I think it's only about 70 horsepower. Anadarko is about 2 hours from where I'm at, Mike's Garage. I have been there. That's down southwest. Let's see. Okay, Mr. Dozer Dennis is in the operator and engineers. MSL's got a broke down logger. Everything I got's broke. Hey, right here with you, buddy. I just don't have as much stuff as you got. All mine's always broke too. Well, Burning Dinosaurs, this is actually not a 4BT. This engine is a Iveco 4.5. And it's similar to a 4BT. A 4BT would probably fit, but it's got the gear train on the back of the engine. So like your injector pump drive is on the back instead of the front. There's a few things different. But a new engine's probably what, 3 payments on a new one? I don't know. Can't be that much. I've missed some good ones here. Digging OK fan club, there you go. I think I could probably stomach buying a new engine for it at this point. I put a new, I don't know, I put too many new parts on it. There's been a lot of people told me I probably should have stopped a long time ago. My wife is one of them, so. Anyway. Make a little money and spend a lot of money. That's seems like how it goes most of the time. But this backhoe, I got to tell you about this backhoe. This backhoe, I bought it. It's a 2007. I bought it in 2010, but it only had 149 hours on it when I bought it. I paid $50,000 for this backhoe. A new one just like it in 2010 was about $85,000. And this backhoe has, when I first started using this one, I was charging $85 an hour. And this, I mean, if you just figure, and I've went up since then. So this is almost $1 million machine right here. It's made me some money. I'm okay with spending some time on it. It hadn't quite made $1 million, but it's going. That's my goal. This machine needs to make me $1 million before I quit using it. Rebecca has told me a couple times I probably ought to trade it, sell it. It's I don't know. It's one of them deals. I just kind of hard to give up on something that you like so much. I mean, if I didn't like operating this machine, it would be pretty easy to say I need a new one. But this thing's got a good air conditioner in it. It's got a good heater in it. It's got a radio. Pilot controls. It's easy to operate. I know it like the back of my hand. I can put it where you need it. I can, I know exactly where the balance points are. I love this backhoe, so it's not like I don't like it. So kind of hard to get rid of something like that. It's kind of like the Kenworth. I've had the Kenworth since 1998. I bought it the year before I went into business. And a lot of people ask me, when are you going to get a new truck? Well, why do I need a new truck? This one works fine. Kind of like the old stuff. MSL's been working 7 days for the last 3 weeks. You've been busy, boy. You've been probably breaking everything. Eric, I know I should have bought a cat. A cat would have cost me $100,000, but it maybe I wouldn't have had to spend any money on it though, right? DC, I will not get. Little Red is family. I can't get rid of. That'd be like selling a dog or something. You just don't do that. But the backhoe's starting to be the same way. Yes, BS, I am thinking about getting a small dozer, and that's something. But here lately, I've been so busy, working with the backhoe that it's hard to have time to go think about trying to drum up dozer work. But dozer work, it would be best in the wintertime, fall months, stuff like that, I think. MSL, I'm with you. I don't like working on Sunday. I do like the old stuff. One of these days I'll get a little dozer. Then I'll have something else to break and work on, most likely. It won't be a new one, I'm sure. But I guess the stream's going okay. You guys hear me all right. We're up to 47 people. How about that? If you hadn't told us who's watching, let us know, guys. I'm kind of surprised we got that many people on here. I would like to get a dozer about I don't know, 85 horse, something like that. With a good deal. Stream's working. Sometimes they cut out. I don't know when they do that. So you guys let me know. Monty Bazaar's on here. Good to hear from you. I'm not sure I would want a New Holland dozer because of the. I'm a little bit afraid of the hydraulic drive dozers. I'm not a fan of hydrostat dozers. Jim, you're right. I do love my job, but it is good to have time for family. If I buy a dozer, Eric will probably need to borrow it a lot. I'm sure. I've spent more time working on the backhoe today than I planned on. I was hoping to get done with that earlier, but I think I'm almost through this project here. So, but I think a thing about the backhoe is a lot of people see it in the shop, and that's the thing that sticks in their memory. That, well, he's always working on his backhoe. He's always fixing his backhoe. Well, That's true, but you don't count all the hours in between the repairs. This thing has actually been a pretty good piece of machinery, in my opinion. Digging and dumping, excavating, I find it hard to make money on Sunday. Good Lord gets his day off one way or another. I think that's probably true. You think so Clayton thinks the hydrostat's the way to go. I guess the way I look at it is when you buy an older machine, you don't know what kind of oil people been running in them, and there is a difference between good oil and bad oil. And this backhoe here, I have never ran anything but New Holland hydraulic oil in it, and I won't. I will not put cheap oil in that backhoe. I've seen it. I've seen what it can do to valves, and everybody has the yellow buckets at Napa or wherever you go, and it's like $25 oil. You're better off to buy the good stuff. I wish Jay Paydirt lived a little closer. I'd go borrow his D9 once in a while. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I'll give Eric a special rate. Eric came over today and gathered up what steel he thought belonged to him when he's moving out. I guess he's moving all his stuff out of my shop to his. So actually, I was a mechanic before I was a backhoe guy, so cannon builder. But you're correct. I mean, if you got a backhoe, if you got any dirt machinery, you're going to need to be. Hey, Soldier Dirt's here. Good evening, Albert. If you got any dirt machinery, if you're not fixing it yourself, you're going to be hiring somebody to do it. Um, well, actually, you should have seen the shop yesterday. I had oil. Well, I still got oil everywhere, but Eric didn't do it this time. Yeah, if Eric, it's a good thing I was here when Eric came by tonight because he would have probably gathered up some of my steel to take with his steel. But moving dirt is one of the toughest things for equipment. I mean, if I didn't like the job so much, I'd probably be looking for something else to do. I like Cat. I like John Deere. They're both too expensive. Um, but as far as visibility, John Deere's are lacking, in my opinion. This is just my opinion. They're good machines. But the New Holland, I think, has the best visibility of anything on this in the backhoe business, in any of the backhoes. Caterpillar's pretty nice. They're pretty good. The problem ain't with paying a mechanic. The problem is the downtime. I don't mind paying a mechanic to do a job if they can do it right, but I can't let them have my machine for 3 weeks or 3 days. I need it fixed by Monday morning so I can go to work. So that's, if I had two machines, I could probably let a mechanic work on one while I was out making money. That might be a better deal. I have not had any problems with transmissions or axles or front wheel assist on this machine. No. Cannon builders always use Ford New Holland. We started out with Ford. My dad started out with Fords, and that's why I ended up with New Hollands. But these machines, I don't think are. There's things about them I don't think are quite up to the standard Ford used to have. But hey, MSL, good luck to you. Hope you get all your stuff running. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good evening. If you look at a new backhoe payment, what are you probably talking, $1,500 to $1,800 a month? That buys a pretty good amount of parts. 555B, those are tough old tractors. My dad still got the 555D. I used to run it for him when I worked for him, and it's a solid machine. But the thing is, though, if you put it side by side with this one, the hydraulics are faster on this one, and the pilot controls, I would not buy another one without pilot controls. Hey, Barry, thanks for stopping by. Good evening. Appreciate it. $2,100 a month for a new case. Eesh. That buys a whole lot of parts. In fact, that would probably even buy some for the Kenworth while I was at it. Cannon Builder, I haven't spent that much time in the. My brother-in-law used to have. He had a John Deere 310 Super E, and it was a nice machine. I really liked it, but visibility out of them, and I've always felt like the John Deeres are a little bit top heavy. I don't know why. It might just be me. Maybe I need to spend more time in them, but there's things about the cat backhoes I don't like, but they're a solid machine. I'm not gonna talk bad about. To be honest with you, I don't know that there's any machine out there that's just a pile of crap. I mean, I think they're all decent. I've had, it's a matter of opinion. Ford and Chevy. Anyhow, probably going to be. It does all boil down to preference. I'll probably be sticking with this one at least for another year or two. I don't know. And like I say, ideally I would keep this one. I'll buy another one with lower hours. And there's a lot of times I may have a big job that I put a machine on, and I might have to travel in and out. Well, looky there, $10. Thank you, sir. That's the first time that's ever happened. That's awesome. Thank you. You didn't like the T-Rex. Well, maybe there are some pieces of crap out there. I don't know if my advice is worth $10, but we'll see. Thank you. 590 case is a pretty good. Those are neat backhoes. I like the 590 Super M's. There's a little bit higher horsepower, a little bit stronger all around on the hydraulics. Like I say, I spent most of my time. This backhoe got 10,000 hours on it. I put all but 149 on it. And the one I had before this, I had 8,600. It was a LB90. The LB90. I missed something here. Clayton, you didn't like the JCB? I had a small experience with a JCB on a job the other day. It was a rental machine. It had pilot controls, but there's just some things about the JCB that were so awkward that I don't know, I just couldn't quite get over it. Hey, PC, the excavator's on here. He says to stick with the New Holland. He's a New Holland guy too. The old Woods backhoe unit. What tractor was that on, TF? Yeah, Brandon, a Dynaho. We got to get a Dynaho. One of these days, I'm gonna have to do a video about Dynahos. Clayton says it's junk called backhoe. I've had so many people tell me that I need to try out a JCB machine, and I may do that someday. But every time I'm around one or I'm on one, there's just some things about them that just ain't quite what I like. Don't encourage Brandon on this Dynaho here. Moves the Cat 330 yelled at by the farmer for not putting a sock. How about that, Kevin? Was he convinced or was he not? That's interesting. I still stand by. I don't believe that your turbos are spinning when you're driving down the road unless your engine's running. That, Clayton, that's a good point about parts. I ordered a cylinder for that backhoe. The swing, I ended up ordering a new swing cylinder because I was afraid one of them had gilded threads on it. So I ordered a swing cylinder on Monday about 12 o'clock at noon. My dealer in Oklahoma City had that cylinder there at 8 o'clock Wednesday morning. It was there at 8:15. He called me. He said, "We got your cylinder here." And it's been the same way with every part I've ever bought for this machine. Is when I call my dealer, they normally have them in either they can get them on a stock order in a couple days for no freight, or if you want it overnighted, they will have it there the next morning before 10 o'clock. So parts for the New Holland, I'm sold on that. I mean, if I couldn't get parts for this one, it would be a done deal. I mean, if you find a machine you can't get parts for that you need, that's it. I'm done with it. But the New Holland, I haven't. Here's another example. One time I was pushing out a tree and it had a fence post kind of standing up beside it, a wooden fence post. I pushed the tree over, and when I backed up, the fence post stuck up in the fan blade. Fan went through the radiator, so it ate up tore up the fan, the radiator, belts. What else did I lose? I lost about $1,500 there in about 20 seconds. But the thing is, they had all those parts in. I got all my parts the next morning at 10 o'clock, and this was about noon when I ordered them. So if you can't get parts, you got a problem. Windsor says he has a buddy fixing up his dyno. It's a nightmare finding some parts, even hydraulic filters hard to find. Ryan, I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. That's pretty funny, digging it. So he was convinced by the video. Well, that's interesting. I hope that got you out of trouble. Clayton says that's why he's a case man. That's another neat thing about a New Holland is some of the parts on this New Holland, you can go to Case and get them. If the New Holland dealer ain't got them, I had a water pump went bad one time, and New Holland didn't have it, but Case had it in stock, so I went over and picked it up. Tim Martin's from Northeast Arkansas. How about that? Good to have you over here. Kenny Anderson did a study on turbo and it does not spin. The thing about the turbo is there's only going to be valve lap at a certain point in your engine. And with a 6-cylinder, well, I don't know. I'd have to really study it, but there's just not enough room for the air to flow through there. And then you got filters, and then you got Stephen, I do not have ratcheting in wrenches. I had another guy ask me that. I think Dale Primo might have asked me that. The thing is, I look at the ratcheting wrenches, and then I look at one of those Milwaukee cordless ratchets, and I'm thinking I'd rather buy one of those than a set of ratcheting wrenches. But anyway, right now I don't have any. Jared says yes, Caterpillar has parts. That's the thing about Caterpillar is great. They're probably one of the best on parts. John Deere's good on parts. Tim, welcome over. He's from Atlanta, Georgia, or Athens, Georgia. Sorry about that. Why do people use a backhoe when they can use a skid steer and a good size, proper size excavator? Cannon Builder says send me a mailing address and I'll get you some tools. Well, that sounds like a heck of a deal. Back to your question, Ryan. Where do I start? I'm a backhoe man, so therefore I have a backhoe. And you could use a skid steer, and you could use a proper size. I don't know what you mean by proper size excavator. I'm guessing you're meaning a mini or something like that. But the thing is, I've got a 95 horsepower loader here that can dig holes, and it's 4-wheel drive. Got a 1 1/3 yard bucket on the front, and I dig footings, and I don't think I've found anything better for digging footings yet, but that's just my opinion. And if some of you other guys want to tell me I'm doing it the wrong way, that's fine too, but uh, that might be something too. There could be something to the newer stuff. The turbos are, I don't know if you've ever seen the old the old turbos are huge, and they might be easier to spin going down the road. There could be something to that. I don't know. I'm hoping Jeff Anderson does something like that on one of his scrapers. Maybe he can do a test on it. Thanks, Dale. Dirty Digging says backhoes still have their place. To me, it's just a matter of I'd rather have one machine. I've been eyeballing a Milwaukee ratchet for a long time, Jesse. It's good to hear they actually work, but they look pretty handy. Well, I guess Ryan, what proper size I guess would mean. I don't know. I'm still a little bit confused. If you're comparing an excavator, would you say the same weight as a backhoe? An excavator with a bucket half the size of the backhoe will outdig the backhoe, but then you can get two machines to haul and maintain and own. Well, uh-oh, stream's acting up. Well, could be because we're talking about backhoes. uh, One machine, one maintenance cost. You got to have a bigger truck to haul two machines to one job, and I just tell you, my situation is when guys call me, they expect me to bring out a backhoe and they expect me to dig. A lot of times we're digging footings or we're digging for a plumber. So if we need if we need a backhoe on the job, that's usually why they call me. A lot of the guys I work for own mini excavators, and that's interesting to me because they still call me out to do their work. Yanmar versus Kubota, 42 Fab. Yanmar's pretty solid machinery. Kubota's pretty good too, but I don't know. I think if you go with Yanmar, you might save some money and you might still end up. I think there again, you're going to have to look at. I'm not sure about parts for Yanmar. That would be my question. I'm missing some of the discussion here. Takes a 20,000 pound excavator to keep up with a backhoe. Backhoe will dig faster than any mini out there. I'm not going to argue with that. I think if parts are available for Yanmar, I probably wouldn't be afraid of one. I think Yanmar used to build all of John Deere's, and they probably still do. They used to build all of John Deere's small tractors, and they're pretty good stuff. Takeuchi don't build a backhoe. Now, if Takeuchi built a backhoe, we would have to try that out. Two machines, yeah, you might need a bigger truck. I like rubber tires when I'm digging footings because when I get on an excavator to dig footings, I usually lose my layout because the track's tend to tear everything up. But Kubota's about 1,000 more with one less horsepower, otherwise similar specs, warranty, etc. I don't know. I'd really want to look at. I mean, probably if I was to have to pick between a Yanmar and a Kubota, I might go with the Yanmar. Derek, I have heard the same thing about some of the New Hollands from another guy. Brandon, if you can get Takuchi to build me a backhoe, I will be the first to give you a. Dirty digging, I know you got to get used to the tracks and learn to keep the layout. It's one of those things I haven't spent enough time on it doing. I know it can be done. I've seen guys do it. I'm not that good at it. Yeah, back when I worked for John Deere, they were all, hey, thank you, 42 Fab. Yeah, it wasn't that long ago we hit 1,000. We went up quite a bit, but the thing about digging footings, I can do them better with a backhoe, but I like running mini excavators. I've told people that before. They're fun to run. Eric, you can't be selling trucks on here. I'll get a commission off of that. I agree with Clayton on that. Buy the one with the best dealership. Kubota's got a good, solid dealership. That one on Waterloo Road, that's a big. They're pretty good with parts. I've dealt with those. My mother-in-law's got a Kubota tractor, so we deal with them a little bit. Yeah, you're right. I've seen some of Dirty Diggins' footings. He does a pretty good job. Jared can dig a footing with a mini excavator. It does have a lot to do with what you're used to using. The thing is, I get on jobs and some of them will have a footing that's 2 foot deep. Well, that's fine for a mini excavator if it's only 2 foot deep. But then when you go to dig a truck well or a truck dock, it's 6 foot deep. So then you got a lot more. You got to dig a lot deeper. And to me, the backhoe with the extend hoe on it it's the way to go. Put round bales out for the cows out here. If it were up to me, I would own a mini X. I would own a skid steer. I would own a dozer. I'd own a backhoe. I'd probably have to have 2 different sizes of dozers. So, but in my business, this machine makes me money. That's all it is. Not really a preference, not really anything like that. It's just that's how I make money. Yeah. Clayton, I thought you was making fun of him there for a second. Windsor, have you seen JCB's little skid steer? They've got a little, they call it a compact track loader with a backhoe. They look pretty interesting. Yes, Cannon Builder, telehandler would be awesome. If the younger, I tell you what, probably if the younger folks were smart, they wouldn't do anything that I do. They would stay in school and get a degree and go do something. We got toads. Somebody said something about frogs out here. We got they're actually toads. They like to come out here and eat bugs at night. Dirt Boss, how are you doing, buddy? There is a tool for every job. I just can't afford all of them. Hey, I'm trying my best to make backhoes great again. That's what I'm on the YouTube for, you know. Dang, Cannon Builder got a 9,000 pound 45-foot JLG with bad engine. Eric's been looking for something about like that. That's cheap. What's considered younger? You're only 25? Wow. Well, I'm saying the kids in school, they need to stay in school. I'm sorry I'm quiet. I'm amused by the comments right now. It's just trying to get caught up here. Rebuilt the engine yourself, 6,500 total. That is awesome. Toads eat 10,000 mosquitoes at night. A night? Wow. Um, man, I don't know. I've never been very good on a case 4-stick backhoe. I can't quite handle that. But, well, man, with a plan, I don't know. Sometimes sitting in an office, well, actually, sitting in this office here is nice. It's just when you have to go fix everything and when things are broke down, and then you go to a job and they say, well, you know, this job got canceled, and so that's where it just becomes. Uh, it's surrounded by toads and covered in grease. You're exactly right. Um, I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought there. But School of Hard Knocks is the only degree Clayton has. Clayton, you're gonna be all right if you like what you're doing. If you got it out, so you're young enough, you can go do something else. I'm 47, be 48 this year. So it's probably a little bit late for me to go get a job. Eric won't even hire me, so he says I'm too independent or something, too hard headed. I tell you what, if you get a nice Super N or M with joysticks, you'll like it. Those are nice machines. Have you done a toolbox tour? Maybe Milwaukee will send you some tools like they send their other channels. I don't know that I'm a big deal enough. TF 63. Dirt Boss, I hope you're having a good week. He's been having heck with the best backhoe I've used. What's the best backhoe on the market? That's a good question. The nicest one to operate is the one you're looking at right here. I like that one better than. Um, I think I think that's probably an opinion on the market. Caterpillar, John Deere. I have heard bad things about the new ones. I've heard bad things about the new cases on electronics. The thing about machinery right now, amount of electronics on it, it's got a few electronics that control the backhoe. And with 10,000 hours, I haven't had any failure with that. None of the electronics. I haven't had any problems with electronics. Alternator, starter, nothing. This machine has no electric problems. The new ones have a lot more stuff going on with them. So I would say that the best backhoes, in my opinion, were built before 2008. That was when everything started going downhill. Yeah, Clayton, I did see that. That 450. I was hoping maybe get like a 650 or something a little bigger, but how do you the 450 though? That'd still be a pretty nice size machine. That's pretty darn good. 40 foot wide, 3 foot cut, 3 days. I'm trying to be still. Sorry about that, Dale. My machine is 2007, but like I was telling everybody earlier, I bought it. It was a demonstrator model, and it was actually I bought it in 2010. I'd rather turn a wrench than have somebody bark orders. Well, I can't argue with that. Backhoes are used for anything from digging ditches to loading trucks, backfilling ditches, moving dirt. I've had people say that I've heard people say that a backhoe is a machine that can do anything but nothing well, and I argue with that. They can do just about anything well. I think electronics is the downfall of all the new machinery. Farm tractors. I'm glad the stream's back. I'm gonna have to shut down here in a little bit. It's past my bedtime, but guys, I just wanted to check in with you and kind of get back into a stream once in a while. I'm gonna try to start doing more of them. Sorry I hadn't done one in a while, but I'm gonna sign off here. Clayton had a 650 last week. That's interesting. I've talked to a guy that he was running a 700 John Deere, and he liked it better than he liked the 650 better than the 700. So. Ryan, thanks for stopping in. Thanks, Mr. Elite. Thank you guys for Cannon Builder. I'll get a hold of you. I really appreciate all of you stopping by to talk to me tonight. Hey, Dirt Boss, appreciate you. Sorry you didn't catch all of it, but Burning Dinosaurs, boy, I got an all-star bunch of subscribers on here tonight. Thank you all for stopping in. Try to get some videos out this week. I'll be talking to you soon. Thank you, guys. Talk to you later.